Alright, well, welcome to the Fall and Rise of Robert Scheineman, aka Nuke. You can refer to me as Nuke from here on out, as I will. Alright, this is my opening on YouTube, and I'm going to start from where it all began. I was delivering newspapers. I felt the pain in my chest, let it go a few times, had to actually get out of the car to breathe, had to lean over to breathe, so I stopped and went to the hospital. Was there about 5 hours. They still couldn't find anything. On the 6th hour, the doctor found I had a blood clot in my lung. And I mean, I went through all these tests, and I'm thankful that the man took the time, otherwise I'd have been dead. So they checked me into the hospital, all still testing, bunch of blood thinners and this, that, and the other. So after 8 days, they let me go. So at this point in my life, I'm living with a lady and her granddaughter, who I refer to as my daughter, my little girl, Serene. So I'm there, and I live in her front room. I'm sitting in a chair with my feet up on an ottoman. That's where I sleep. That goes on for about 4 years, and then she had to move for her personal reasons. So I wasn't making enough money to get a spot and keep paying for my car, so I ended up living in my car. Now that's a 2.5 year process, but during this process I've gone to the doctor, and a free doctor at the Judeo-Christian Center, and they tell me I have venous reflux, or venous stasis, or venous insufficiency. Bottom line, my legs are retaining and expanding because the veins, which are supposed to open and close, open, both legs. Not so bad on the right, really bad on the left. I call it the 1,000-pound leg because it feels like 1,000 pounds, and to lift it up, it's very heavy when other people lift it up, doctors, nurses. So, he refers me to a wound care doctor, because my leg has gotten nasty. It has a smell because the stuff coming out is toxic to the skin. It eats the skin, and then it layers, and that, after things layer, the stuff underneath dies and becomes smelly. So, the doctor, they're both giving me supplies. I have to wrap it several times a day because it leaks, and you have to clean it, and doing this in a car is not it's not good at all. You got to keep the bugs off of it. You got to be able to wrap it, and at this point I'm having all kinds of problems. I'm using a cane to walk, and I also have a walker. So in this process, I've been back to the hospital twice. First time I ended up with maggots in my leg. I'm living in my car, got the window down, fly flies in, finds a spot, drops its eggs in my leg. Now my legs are wrapped, but bugs can get in anywhere, so the wound care doctor helps me out, Judeo-Christian helps me out. I'm still in my car, and I'm told I should file for Social Security because, I shouldn't even be working. People are like, why are you still here? If I had to make something, otherwise I'd be out of the car living under the bridge. So I file. It takes about 6.5 years for anything to really go on, but I'll get into that later. So I'm just going forward day to day, and it's getting hard to walk, and that's making everything else hurt. So it's just an unbelievable story that I'm this way. I've never been this way. You don't want to be this way. You never think you're going to end up like this, but it can happen. And in a blink of an eye, you're just done. I feel fortunate I'm not dead, because I could have been, which we'll get into that later as well. But for now, this has taken over 6. I'm saying this is in the 7th year now. I've gone from a condo to my car to a hospital to a rehabilitation convalescent home. Lots of fun. And I'll get into it a little more, but that's pretty much the setup for you. And if you have any questions, I think you can leave messages on here. And if not, you can go to assassin4212 at Gmail. That's the Gmail I'm using for this video here, and all the videos further. And if you have questions or whatever, I'll get to that and get back at you when I can. But I'm definitely going to try to keep this up as, daily, or, it's a long story, so I might take a day off or two, especially since I'm going to rehab now. And Tuesday I start my rehab, so that's a 12-day ordeal. And if I need more, they'll, the last appointment is a reevaluation. So I'm real happy about that. Got to stay positive when you get into places like this. I've learned a lot of things. Advocate for yourself in any medication, any medical situation. You have to advocate for yourself. You got to kick people in the ass to get what you need done for you. Because otherwise, they just drag their ass and you don't get anything. And you have to stay positive. If you go negative and you could get down real easy, I can see how people check themselves out or just get down and depressed. It's not easy doing this, and I'll let you know things that have happened. But like I said, this is the first of many, and I'm Nuke, and I'm out.